everybody, welcome to Push Your Luck Videos. My name is Eric and this is a very special edition of Push Your Luck Videos because this is my 100th video review. Woo! Now before we get into the video review proper, I have some very special guests that will join me on this video. Let's take a look.
Hi, Eric. I just wanted to say a quick congrats on 100 episodes. That is an amazing accomplishment, and I think it really speaks to your love for and dedication to board gaming. I'm so glad that we have you in the States now and that you're studying game design and making your own games. I really look forward to what's going to come of your next 100 episodes. Congratulations.
Hey, Eric. Congratulations on 100 pulpy videos. This is David from Grey Old Games, and thanks for all you've done. I feel like I've known you a while. You did a preview review for our first Kickstarter ages ago, 101, and it was thanks to you and Jonathan on the podcast that I first really heard about Too Many Cinderellas in detail, and now I published that. Thanks for all that you do in highlighting really interesting games. I think the first video I ever saw of yours was Coconuts, and that was, it might have been the first one. That was way before it was available outside of Asia. So thanks for all you do. Keep it up. And here's to another 100 million videos.
This is Tony, and this is Marty from Rolling Dice and Taking Names. And we just want to congratulate Eric on his 1,000th YouTube video. What? 1,000 videos, 1, Tony. Can you believe that?
No, I think there's a translation issue here.
No, look.
What?
1,000 videos. I was looking it up today.
Okay.
He says, congratulations, Eric, on your 100th video. That's still pretty impressive.
That's pretty darn impressive. I mean, you would never think that you can make that happen. 100 videos. Keep up the great work. We enjoy what you're doing.
You're on your way to 1,000. You'll get there, buddy. Keep going.
Hey, Eric. This is Jamie from Stonemeyer Games. I just wanted to congratulate you on your 100th episode of the Push Your Luck podcast. I've been a fan of the podcast and now of the video channel for quite a while now, and I'm so appreciative that you were supportive of Stonemeyer Games in the early days when we just had Viticulture and then Euphoria. It was awesome for you to be there for a small indie company like ours to be willing to review our games. So thank you so much and congratulations. I hope you have at least 100 more episodes in you. Thanks.
Well, hi there, and welcome to Board Games with Scott. Oh, wait, no, this is the Push Your Luck podcast, and I came on to just congratulate you for hitting 100 episodes. And I've got a message for you, Eric, from your professors. You need to get to work instead of doing all this silly video editing and all of that stuff. You're really busy there in school. Oh, wait, you're in a games degree. That's not hard. You don't do anything but play games all day, do ya? Well, I actually know better. For those of you that don't know, I've moved to Brantford, Ontario in Canada, where I'm now the professor of game design development at Wilfrid Laurier University. And so I very much know how much work it is to be in a game studies program. So Eric, get back to work. Well, and keep making videos. That makes your viewers happy, and that's important. So take care, and bye-bye.
Hello, Eric, and all of you Push Your Luck podcast listeners and watchers. My name is Rodney Smith from Watch It Played, and I just wanted to quickly interrupt so I could congratulate you on reaching 100 episodes. That's a real accomplishment. And some people might wonder, what is the secret to sharing board gaming media on an ongoing basis with enthusiasm and excitement? And I would tell you, I'm not sure. But it probably involves at least these two things: having an actual passion for the hobby and a stubborn unwillingness to quit. Which, Eric, you have proved that you have both of those ingredients, and that's led you here to 100 episodes. I'm sure the next 100 are around the corner. So again, congratulations and well done.
Hey, Eric. This is Jeff Engelstein wanting to wish you congratulations on your 100th episode. That's quite an accomplishment. I'm looking forward to seeing even more of your videos, as well as some of the game designs that I know you've got rattling around in that head of yours. So stop making videos and get to work on those games, okay?
Hello, Eric. Congratulations on your 100th video. That's awesome. Little story about myself and Eric. Actually met Jonathan, Eric's partner on Push Your Luck podcast, playing at Seasons on Board Game Arena. If I recall correctly, that's how it worked. I might have met Eric first or Jonathan. I can't remember which one it was. And then the one said to the other, "Hey, Joel plays on Board Game Arena." And then we just kind of started chatting from there and started to become friendly and become actual friends. And now I've shown up on their podcast a couple of times to irritate Jonathan a little bit. And so it's been cool to watch Eric and Jonathan grow. the podcast, and then now with the videos, and then Eric, of course, moving to New York to be with his lovely wife, and now enroll in the I don't know if it's called the board game program or the gaming program at NYU. So that's really cool to see. And I've had a chance to hang out with Eric a couple times at Gen Con and play several games with him, and that's always been fun. So just a kind of a crazy thing, we randomly were playing together on Board Game Arena, and then, started chatting, and then, became friends after that. And then he randomly decided to do a podcast and now video. So, and now he's getting into design and stuff, and that's really cool. I've looked at some of Eric's designs. We've shot design ideas back and forth. And Eric's like a good spirit, in the hobby, and he kind of, his spirit and a lot of folks' spirit in terms of like just their love of the games and everything that really comes across when you deal with Eric and Jonathan as well. And so that's a good thing. And so I'm very happy to see that you hit 100 videos and that you keep going. And hopefully you get to hang out in the States. I maybe won't see you at a convention this year, but probably next year we can hopefully hook up and play some games and hang out. Or you can just continue to beat me at Through the Ages online. Or not. Maybe I'm actually going to win this one that we're playing now, it looks like. Like this is the second time I've beat Eric out of how many games. This is the first time out of 3 games of the new edition, and the old one, he just used to clean me up all over the floor. And I think I beat him one time, maybe, playing the old edition. So anyway, congratulations, Eric.
Thank you so much to my contributors for sending the videos to me. I never expected this level of response from them, and I'm really happy and humbled that they took the time to say a few words and send the video to me. So thank you very much. And just a few words about the board game industry and my video reviews. I'm really humbled and proud that I'm part of this industry where everybody is still very friendly. We can talk to each other about almost everything under the sun, and we are very friendly with each other. There's no like competition per se. We don't like, you doing better than me, so I'm going to step on you, the kind of thing. So I'm really thankful that I'm very grateful that this community that we have in the board game industry is still so friendly and so open to each other. And I hope doesn't change as the board gaming industry gets bigger and bigger, and I hope to be able to continue to provide interesting video reviews for you my audience in the future. So without further ado, let's go into Nippon. Now Nippon is a 2015 release by What's Your Game, and it is by designer Paulo Soledade and Nuno Bizarro Sentiero. So they also brought you other very interesting games like Madeira and Panamax. So I think that Madeira probably brought their name into the spotlight, and suddenly everybody started to want to know who these designers are, who came up with these very thinky, very interesting games. And so Nippon continues in this trend. Nippon is a 2 to 4 player game. It takes about 60 minutes to about 120 minutes. That depends on the number of players you have. The more players you have, the more amount of time you need to play the game. It is worker selection, action selection. So it's an action selection game where the players will be trying to decide which actions they want to do, and eventually have factories to allow you to produce goods, which allow you to have then area control on the board to score points. And there will be 3 major scoring sessions happening throughout the game, and when that happens, you score points, and when the game ends, whoever has the most points at the end of the game will win. No surprise here, because it's a Euro game. So let's take a look at the components of the game and what I think about, and how the game plays and what I think about the game. Now, take note that there's going to be a contest sponsored by What's Your Game. I'm very thankful for What's Your Game for continuing to support someone as small as me, all right, and providing me games to review. So they have graciously provided a copy of Nippon to give away at the end of this video review. So stay tuned, stay to the end of this video review where I'll give you instructions and details on how to enter the contest to win yourself a copy of Nippon. So let's go to the components of the game, how to play the game, and my thoughts. Alright, so this is what you see in the game of Nippon. Now, I do apologize, I do not have a big enough table to put everything on one screen so you can see everything. So I'm going to bring the different components to you and talk about different games to the camera as much as I can. So, as what you can expect from What's Your Game and their other line of games, the components are very nice, good quality cardboard, thick cardboards. The art is also very nicely designed, very impressive, and also it's very clear as well. It's not like you won't get confused by the different symbols. Once you learned all the symbols, it's very clear. So I'm just going to highlight a few important things. The money, I really like the money tokens are like real nice cardboard that you can. It's not like the paper money that I kind of detest. I really like the money that they have. There are many different worker meeples of different colors. They don't belong to a particular player. Each player will also have their own player board like so. Alright, the setup can be a bit tedious at the beginning because you need to arrange all this nicely onto the player board. But it's not too difficult, not too tedious. These are city tiles. You'll be randomly arranging them depending on which direction. Alright, so it allows for a lot of replayability as well. This is the player order track. Alright, this will tell that player knows how many rounds there are left and when the game ends. Right, and these are all the actions that you can select available. And then there's a little small area here that tells you the different scores that will happen in each of the different 3 scoring regions, as well as some benefits and some other information, which I'll explain later on in the game. So all in all, good components. The board doesn't sit flat, so you might need to warp a bit. I need to bend it a bit to make sure it sits flat. You can see now it doesn't really sit totally flat. But that's a small minor things. And also there's a whole lot of more tiles. Like these are the factory tiles that you can use to build in the game, and contract tiles. All right. So a whole lot of components and all very good quality. So let's go to how do you play the game itself. Now, during your turn, each player will take turns choosing one of 2 actions. After they've done the actions, and then 1 or 2 options, I would say. After they've chosen their option, and then next player will take a turn, and so on and so forth. Then there will be a certain special condition that will trigger this player order, this turn order, realm order to move forward until the end of the game. And so you keep doing this until the end of the game, and then you see whoever has the most points will win the game. So what are the 2 options can a player do? The first option that you can do is to select an action. So selecting action is where you are taking a worker from any of these action slots, putting onto your player board here, all right, and then you do the action below. So these are 2 actions. You can do. You can only do one of these 2 actions, and this is one action by itself. So for example, if I chose the blue worker, I put the blue worker here like so, and then I'll get to do either one of these 2 actions. Alright, so that's the first thing. I will go through the details of the actions later on. Now the second thing you can do is to consolidate. Consolidate means that you are not taking a worker from there, instead you are actually returning workers from your player board here back into the back, and then there's a whole lot of other housekeeping that you're doing. Alright, and then that will be the end of your turn as well. Alright, so consolidation, you can think of it as more like you're stopping you're stopping doing an action on the board, and then what you're doing is that you are resetting your player board, getting money and getting coal, depending on how far you are on your track. Alright, so those are the 2 main things. Now let's go to each of the actions, so that I'll just briefly go through actions that you can do. Now the first thing you can do here, alright, is that you can pay 1,000, 3,000 or 6,000 yen to move up 1, 2 or 3 spaces on the tech track. So if you see the player board here, there is like a tech track. Alright, there's a tech track here. This will allow you to get better factories, right? Because the different factories will require different levels of tech that you have before you can buy them. So for example, like this case, this is the basic factory. The factories are in 2, 4 and 6 tech levels. So to get this factory, I'll need to have a tech 2 level, either there or in combination with other blueprints to be able to get this factory. Next, you can then produce. So in this action, you can produce 1 to 3 factories, but they must be different factories. So when you produce, each factory will also have a number of coal that you need to pay to the factory to produce. By default, each factory will always produce 1. So this means that if I pay 2 coal, 2 coals are the black cubes there. When you pay 2 coal, I can produce one good. That means I can produce 1. I think this is paper or silk. I produce 1 silk. So there are a lot of black cubes in the game. Though black cubes are actually generic cubes, they can function as markers or function as coal and also function as goods. So when you pay them, you just put 1 cube here. Now you note that each factory will have a certain limit of goods that it can hold, and a factory can also produce a lot more goods than just the one, especially if you give it machinery. So when you buy the factory, you flip over the other side. Now there's a space here, you can put machinery there. So depending on the machinery you have, which is +1 or +2, then whenever you produce goods at a factory, for 2 goods you produce up to a maximum of 3. For 2 coal, you can produce a maximum of up to 3 goods for this particular factory. All right. Next actions, you can complete 1 to 3 contracts. All right. So each player has a set of contracts. All of them have the identical set of contracts that you can complete. So these are the different contracts that you can complete. All right. Now the symbology is iconography is very easy. So this means you trade in 2 different type of goods, or of 1 each. So one coal, 1 silk, and 1 bento, for example. And then this is the reward you get. So you get 4,000 yen. You also move up your money track. So this is the money track, which indicates how much money you get during consolidation, right? By 2 steps. After you've done this, let me see whether I can get it better. After you've done this, you flip over the other side to indicate that you have done it. All right. This is just to remind you that you already have moved up. You should have moved up twice on the money track. Right, so there's many contracts that you can complete. All players will have the same. Some contracts also give you points. For example, you need to have 4 different factories. You need to discard 2 goods from 1 factory, 2 goods from another factory, 1 good from another factory, 1 good from another factory, and you get 12 points. All right. Next is you're paying 6,000 yen to buy factories. So as I mentioned, you will need to have a certain tech level before you buy the factory. All right. You can also trade in blueprints. So these are blueprint tiles, which will add to your tech level and then allow you to buy the factories. So when you pay 6,000 yen, you get a factory. Now there's a whole lot of factories that you can choose from. So this is a handy player aid. So these are the different types of factories. There's 3 levels of factories. There's 2 first levels, so I think silk and paper. 2 second levels, bento and magnifying glass, and 2 third levels. So there's like a wristwatch and a light bulb. All right, and then there's these are like 4 different factories in each of the 4 different types of factories in each of the factory types. Okay, so they will give you different benefits. All right, so for example, in this in this one, for example, so whenever you move up the tech track on your player board, you get to move up 1 more space. For example, then some of them just gives you a straight up benefit, one-time benefit, and so on and so forth. All right, so you are only allowed to build 1 of each type of factory. So at most you can only have 6 factories in the game. All right, so this is a very handy player aid. Next, you can do here. All right, you can move up the coal track. All the tracks move up the same. Both the coal and the tech track move up the same way. You pay 1, 3, or 6,000 yen, and you can move up 1, 2, or 3 spaces. Next, this allows you to place ships onto the board. Now you can pay 5, 10, or 15,000 yen to put 1, 2, or 3, but they must be placed in different regions. So you can see this symbol here that says different. So what happens is that you see all these ships on your player board here. You will be taking as many as you're paying and then placing them on the regions. So each region, so this is 1 region. You can see the line here borders 1 region. So this is 1 region, and these are spaces that you can put. So you can put like here, and I can put here. You can put anywhere you want. The order doesn't matter. All right, these will come into play during the scoring sessions. All right, so this is how you pay. Next, you can pay 5, 10, or 15,000 yen. All right, to get machinery. So machinery are the +1 and +2, which you can add to your factory, which will produce more goods for you. So it becomes more efficient. You spend less coal to produce more goods. You can also spend 5, 10, 15, or 15,000 yen to get 1, 2, or 3 trains. Now these are the trains, which are also on the player board as well. Now the trains you can also put in the same region where you put the ships. Like for example, I can put it here. They also come into play during the scoring. Now you also notice that once you done that, right, if you release both the ship and the train, you have a +1 to your money track. So this is another way of getting more money. All right. Last action is this. This is where you can sell goods from your factory into a particular region, and then you get influence based on how many goods to sell. All right. So you can sell. You can place 3 different tiles. So these are the tiles that each player will have. All right, these are the tiles that each player will have. you can also see them here. So there's 9 different tiles that we have here. All right. So what happens is that depending on, you can place 3 tiles on to a region when you select this action. So these are cities. Cities have different demands. So for example, this wants a light bulb, a bento, a paper, or a silk. So you'll be discarding cubes from your factories, 1, 2, or 3. You can do it 3 times. All right. You'll be able to place up to 3 tiles onto one particular region of the board. All right. So how many you can produce? How many tiles you can put depending on, you can see this scale here. So for a level 1 factory, alright, it's a bit small, I hope you can see. So for level 1 factory, if you discard 1 cube from level 1 factory, you got to put the number 1 influence tile onto the board. Okay, so for example, let's say I'm producing the silk, I can put it here like so. Alright, for each influence tile you place onto the board, you merely get the region's benefit. So each region has a certain benefit. In this case, this region will give you 5,000 yen. This one will give you 2 cubes. This one will give you 2 blueprints, and this will give you points, 2 points. This region that I covered here. Okay, and so these are all the actions that you have. All right, all the actions are just to help you to create an engine. All right, create an engine to help you to score points throughout the game. That's the main gist, or the main thing that you're doing. Now, what is consolidate? So I'm going to go to consolidate. Consolidate, you can this player 8 will also tell you what consolidate does. First thing, any remaining money and coal that you have, you need to discard them. So usually we put the money and coal in this region here to help players keep track of how much money and coal they have. Now, first thing you need to do is discard everything that you have. So you cannot retain it between turns in a way. You cannot retain the money and the coal that you have. Anything you have will be discarded. There are some factories that allow you to keep some of them, but most of the time you'll be trying to maximize your move so that you will make sure you do not waste any coal or money. Next, you get back money and coal depending on how far you are on this track. So this is the coal track. Depending on how far you are on the track, you will get a number of coal back. Depending on how far you're on the mining track, you also get a number of money back as well. So by default, we're getting 2 coal and 12,000 yen. Alright, so if you increase it later on, you get more money and more coal. Next, you will get a certain benefit. Now, the interesting thing about this is depending on how many workers you have used before you consolidate, you get a certain benefit. So for example, let's say if I did this, and this, for example. Alright, now you will see that, and move this away, you will see that there's a number here, a little number here. This will correspond to the bonus, multiplier bonus that you can get from the board. Alright, so I've reached the 3. So what I can do is I can get one of these multiplier bonus. I'll shift this a bit here so you can see. Alright, these are the multiplier bonus you can get. So you look at the 3 and below. So you can get anything from this column or this column. Alright, I can choose any of these benefits. The first benefit gives me a 2 blueprint. Second benefit gives me 2 coals, 2 coal cubes. Third benefit gives me 5,000 yen. So let's say I take the 5,000 yen. I merely get this benefit, so I get 5,000 yen put onto my player board, and I now flip it over. So I flip it over, you can see this 3 multiplier 3 times. Now I can put this 3 multiplier into any of this scoring spaces on my player board. So you can see these are all the scoring spaces on your player board. These are all end game scorings, so they're very important at the end of the game. So I can put any of them, and can put this multiplier that's got on any of them. So I can put it here, for example. Right, which means that I'll get 3 times this number of points at the end of the game. I'll explain all this later on. Now, the next step you do is that you will then discard all the workers you have consolidated. For each different color worker that you have, you must pay 3,000 yen. Alright, so in this case, I have 3 different colors. I must pay 9,000 yen out of the money that I just got. So you will realize that pushing the money track up is also quite important. If you cannot pay for the workers, you'll deduct points. So we will start at I think 10 points, and then we deduct 2 points for each worker that you cannot pay. And that's consolidate. All the workers that you have here will be dumped back into the bag, alright, which can be pulled out later on. Alright, so that's the gist of the game. Last 2 things. Alright, let's talk about scoring. How do you do scoring? This is where most of the scoring will happen. Now, whenever you are expected to, so whenever one of these action slots is empty, alright, let's say this action slot is empty, the next there's a train here you can see. Alright, there's a let me move it back again. All right, there's a ladder here where workers will now move from here onto the empty spot, like so. Okay. Now, when this whole thing is empty, when you move, when let's say this, imagine that this whole thing is empty, and you need to replenish from here. Now, there's no more replenishing done because this whole thing is empty. What happens is then the round marker will move by 1 step, like so. All right, and then you replenish this again. So you from the back, you replenish everything to every one of these action slots to 3 workers, and then you replenish all this entire track again. All right. Now you will notice that there's a 1 here, a 2 here, and a 3 here. It's a bit small. I hope you can see. Basically, it's 2 steps. When this happens again, then you trigger a scoring. So you trigger the first round scoring. When it comes to here and goes to here, you trigger the second round scoring. Now after this, it becomes interesting. When the round marker reaches any of this, what happens is it means that every player will have only 3 more rounds before the game ends. So instead of the usual way of this triggering the movement of this, now when it reaches the goal circles, after everyone has taken 1 turn, you move this by 1. After everyone taken another turn, you move by 1. After everyone has taken the last turn, that's it. The game is over. You do 1 more scoring, and then you do end game scoring. So this is a very interesting track to take note of. Now, how do you do scoring? You will notice here. All right, there's a scoring. Here. There's a scoring track. All right, I'll show you. So each region will be evaluated for scoring. And how do you evaluate? First, you see in that region, all right, you see all the numbers that are not covered. All right, so in this region, for example, right, the numbers that are not covered is 1, 3, 1, 2. So 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1 is 7. So there's a neutral power. You're also fighting against a neutral power. So neutral power, in this case, has 7 influence in this region. All right, I only have 1. All right, which means that this is all about majority. So whoever has the most in round 1, whoever has the most majority in a particular region, all right, you'll get 10 points. Second most 7 points, third most 5 points. So in this case, I will be second. All right, I'll have 7 points when it's the first round scoring. Now in the next round scoring is 15, 11, 8. The last round scoring is 20, 15, and 11. So it's a lot of points to score just by having a lot of influence in a particular region. So what do the ships and the train come into play then? The train will add 2. Right, if you see there's a plus 2. All right, the train will add 2 to your influence. So in this case, I have 3 influence, but it's still not enough to beat the 6. All right. There are certain factories that allow you to flip the train over, and now it becomes a plus 3 instead of plus 2. Now, if you are first or second in a particular region, the ship will give you 2 more points. So in this case, if I was here, I have 7 plus 2, so I have 9 points. All right. If you have, there are certain factories that allow you to flip over the other side as well, which give you 3 points instead of 2 points. So you can see how important the train and the ships are if you want to get influence and get points from that as well. Now, last thing, so end game scoring. What is all this end game scoring things that I'm talking about then? You will see that there's quite a lot of end game scoring here. All right, this will, by default, you get 1 point for every 6,000 remaining yen that you have. So there will still be 1 final consolidation at the end of the game. You need to pay off the workers and get all these things later on. So you get 1 point for each 6,000 yen you have. If you get benefits, you can boost this up. So for example, if I put a 3x here, now it's 3 points per 6,000 yen I have instead of just 1. You will get 1 point for each ship star you uncover. So the ships are all covered here. If I uncover this, I'll get 1, 2, 3, 4 points. All right. But since there's no multiplier here, so it's 0. So if I put this here, I have a 3. 3 times number of stars. This is for the trains. Similar, trains also have stars, similar to this as well. This is for the number of regions which you have an influence tile on. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 different regions. So you could score quite a lot of points. Since you're already doing the influence on the region, you could also score a lot of points here. This is the number of plus 2 machinery that you have on your factories. This is the number of level 2 and level 3 factories that you have. Number of stars that you reach with your coal cube. So this is the coal track. Right. Number of stars you reach with your tech track. So it's here. And this is for every 2 contracts you completed, you get 1 point. All right. So it's all the end game scoring. And yeah, that's it. That's the gist of the game. So let's go to my thoughts about the game. Okay, that was a long explanation of the game. I do apologize. But as with a lot of these pair of designers games, their rules are it's quite lengthy, but it's not that difficult to understand. If you read through the rulebook, they do provide a very good explanation of what's happening. There are some little things that you may miss out here and there, but it shouldn't be a problem. I taught it to people who played it the first time and they really got it. It's quite easy to understand what's happening, what's going on, and stuff like that. So what do you think of the game, Nippon? I really like it. It is again, they hit it out of the park for me. This pair of designers have been making very good games in the recent years, and I look forward to many more good games from them. It is in the same flavor as Madeira, the meaty, the thinky. There's a lot of things to do. You're wondering, okay, should I lose 3,000 yen just to get that worker to activate that different color worker to then activate the action that I really want, or should I just go with the flow, try not to have too many different colored workers and just do an action that is subpar. So it's really up to you. There's really a lot of actions you can do. So it's like there's a lot of planning involved. If you can plan really ahead, your moves will be very fast. Of course, as long as your opponents do not go into the same space as you are, then I'll take the worker that you really wanted. All right. So that could potentially cause analysis paralysis. All right, because most of the time when it comes back to you, you need to see how many workers that are left on the board and whether you can take the action or not. Especially when it comes to the round. When the round moves ahead, then more workers will be placed on the board, and then that might change things. So the analysis paralysis part could be a little bit of a problem. But if you think ahead and think fast and think of all the alternatives, I think that's fine. That shouldn't be a big problem. And it does end quite nicely. The way that the round ends at the last part. Initially, you're waiting, I have a lot of time, not too much problem. I have time to build up the engine, because the way that the turn actually progresses you feel that it gives you enough time to build up your engine, build up the story, slowly move ahead. But come to near the end of the round, the last 3 rounds, it becomes very important to really make sure that you maximize your turn, because the last 3 turns just flies by so fast that you're like, oh my god, the game is over. Then you can't start counting points. There's so many different ways of scoring points, that there are many different paths to victory that you can try. Like you can try to maximize your tech track, get the best factories, or just try to get as many influence as you can. Making sure that you get points for each of the scoring rounds is very important, because that is where you can get quite a lot of points. I haven't tried the contract strategy yet. That means you just focus on contracts yet. But I feel that if you ignore the influence on the board, then that will be to your detriment. So thanks to What's Your Game for this review copy, and I definitely recommend a Nippon. Now, for most of you have been waiting for, the contest details. So again, like what I said at the beginning of the video, What's Your Game has kindly and graciously provided a sealed copy of Nippon that to be sent to a winner for my contest. Alright, so all you need to do to enter the contest and win a copy of Nippon is, first thing you need to do, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Alright, second thing you need to do, in this video, alright, leave a comment of what is your top game in 2016 that you're waiting for or that you're anticipating. Alright, so again, to enter the contest, to win yourself a copy of Nippon, alright, What's Your Game will send to anywhere in the world, so anybody in the world can join. Alright, 2 things: subscribe to my YouTube channel, alright, subscribe here, and also leave a comment on this YouTube video about what is your top game in 2016 that you're waiting for. Alright, and yeah, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed Nippon, and hope you enjoyed the 100th episode of Push Your Luck video. I hope to be able to bring you more videos in the future. You can also leave me comments, please leave me comments, suggestions on how to improve myself,